Let's explore one of the spiritual topics in the book Affirmations for Self-Healing by Swami Kriyananda. And the topic we're going to look at today is willpower. It's a wonderful and very topical subject right now. Let me read what Swamiji said, and then we'll expand a little bit on what he said and discuss this. Willpower, and not the vague abstraction luck, is the secret of true achievement. Willpower on subtle energy levels generates what only looks like luck by magnetically attracting to us opportunities. Our will is strengthened by removing from our minds the no-saying tendency, the obstructions of doubt, of laziness, and of fear. Yes, even the fear of success. Willpower is developed by persevering to the conclusion of whatever one attempts. One should start first with little undertakings, then proceed to bigger ones. Infinite willpower comes from harnessing the little human will to God's infinite, all-powerful consciousness. Well, there's so many wonderful concepts here that we can put into action in our daily lives. Some of you may remember with the energization exercises, we say, the greater the willpower, the greater the flow of energy. And we say further, the greater the flow of energy, the greater the magnetism. Let's look at that. The greater the willpower, the greater the flow of energy. We're saying that is this flow of energy that brings to us what we need, what we want. And it's that flow of energy within us that makes us accomplish and have success in all of the areas that we put our literally our energy into. And so in other words, we generate that energy, and just the fact that energy is flowing draws to us opportunities. The greater the flow of energy, the greater the magnetism. The magnetism to draw to ourselves the opportunities for success. And there is a tendency, most of our lives have been disrupted or changed in the last few weeks. And at first, sort of losing the structure, the daily schedule that we used to have, it may seem, well, we're having a few days of vacation and we'll just let things go. We'll just relax. No need to stick to any sort of schedule. And then what happens? That gets a little old after a while. And personally, there can be the tendency of drifting towards lethargy, laziness, not wanting to do things. And looking at this as an individual, what's the solution? And part of it is When we sink into laziness or even a touch of depression, you may say that we're more living in the subconscious. And what we need to do spiritually, what we want to do, is live in the superconscious. And it's willpower, willingness, enthusiasm, removing from our minds, as Swamiji says, the no-saying tendency. Rather, say yes to life. All of these things can bring us out of the superconscious and out of the subconscious and into the superconscious. You know, just like when we do a superconscious living exercise and we run in place and we say in a loud voice, I am awake and ready, or I am positive, energetic, and enthusiastic. We create a flow of energy through our willpower, through our willingness, and our mind is in the superconscious state, that state where answers come to us, solutions, intuition. And on the one hand, spiritually, the time that we are in, if we find ourselves with more time on our hands, you know, more quietness in our lives, it is the perfect opportunity to go deeper spiritually. And what can help us is to keep some structure in our spiritual life, perhaps to strengthen that structure. Not to be rigid, not to be hard on ourselves, but to look at the spiritual path. And we can look at it in terms of different areas. You know, just like at school or university, we have different areas of study, different subjects. One is our sadhana, our meditation, our spiritual practices. Another is study. A third is satsang, seva, and devotion. These are each one an important aspect of the spiritual path, and one that we can explore more and more deeply, each one of them. Our sadhana is obvious. And study, to take more time when the mind is quiet, to take time to go deeper into those spiritual books, that study that is going to help you. Satsang. And you might say, but you know, I'm at home, you know, in my house, either alone or with my family, and none of them are spiritually inclined. But satsang is always with us. You know, tune into Ananda Sangha online any moment of the day. There is satsang for the having. And just part of your spiritual study, you're having satsang, you're having darshan with the saint who wrote the book that you're reading, one of our masters perhaps. And seva. And you might say, well, how can I do seva if I can't leave the house? Well, of course you can, you know, send that donation to Ananda Sangha online. You can seek out people who need help at this time and find a way of helping those people. And also people in your lives who, you know, could be cheered up if you were to give them a phone call, if you were to send them messages and spend time at a distance with them. And devotion, you know, lighting, reigniting that flame of devotion in our heart. And devotion doesn't just mean, singing Sankirtan. It can also be to put our energy into the things that we're devoted to, that we have a love for. And then just take that an octave higher and offer that to God. And that becomes devotion. And we can also look, this is our personal life, but especially if you're living with family, you can also look at your family life, especially if you're ahead of that family or have some influence. See how, as a family, we can go deeper. We can respect and love and get to know one another on a deeper level. We've been hearing wonderful stories from our friends, how they're doing things with their families that they never used to have time to do, how in the evenings some families are having chanting or kirtan together. Others are studying the Gita or the Autobiography of a Yogi or the New Path together. Some, a couple of friends, their teenage children are coming to our online meditation class together with their parents. And see how within your family that you can have some rituals together that maybe are new, that are meaningful. Spend meaningful time together over meals. And, or as I said, study together. Have activities that are uplifting. The other thing with willpower is to have a structure, to plan your day, both individually and as a family. And more importantly, is to look at the week ahead and say, well, we have this week ahead. What are some goals that we can achieve, both for yourself and as a family, perhaps? Here's something we'd really like to do. And in order to do that, it means, let's say, we wake up at this time in the morning, and then we do this and we do that. And set goals like that. And having this little bit of structure can help develop your willpower. As Swamiji said, one should start first with little undertakings and then see that job through to completion. Persevere until you have success. And he says, infinite willpower comes from harnessing the little human will to God's infinite, all-powerful consciousness. And so we can tune in to God's will through devotion, through developing our own will and attuning to Guru, to God, so that we can follow his will. Let's do an affirmation together. The affirmation, the wording is, my will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. Have this kind of willpower and enthusiasm. Let's repeat it with enthusiasm and a loud voice. My will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. Repeat it again with enthusiasm. My will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. Now, in a quieter voice, you can close your eyes. My will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. Now, with your eyes closed, say it in a whisper. Bring it into the subconscious. My will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. Now repeat it silently only. Bring it into the superconscious. Attune yourself to God's divine will. My will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. My will is to do that which is right to do. Part all you mountains that stand in my way. Nothing can stop my progress. Now let's pray silently. O infinite power, I will use my will, but guide thou my will in everything I do, that it reflect thy will. Oh.